All right, all right. It looks like we are live. What is going on, Bree Hive? Y'all, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know at the same time. If you don't know what I'm talking about the topic for today's live streams. Jonathan Majors, the Marvel villain, the Creed 3 villain, actor on another show that you guys have named for me multiple times, but I haven't remembered it. Convicted of misdemeanor assault and harassment of his ex-girlfriend. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how they ended up here. We're going to talk about whether the prosecution actually proved their case, which is going to be a little bit of a difficult conversation since there were not cameras in the courtroom. And then we're going to just kind of see what the chat thinks about the case. So, we are live. If you are watching live, go ahead and drop in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching live from and let us know that you're here. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Let us know that you are watching on the replay crew. Now, this case is pretty much over. Jonathan Majors found guilty of assaulting and harassing his ex-girlfriend. I did not watch. I can't remember if closing statements were recorded or not, but I didn't watch it. That's the point of it. I didn't watch it. If it was recorded, and I'm not quite sure where the harassment is coming from. So if y'all know what's going on as far as the harassment goes, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Today should be a pretty short live stream because we are having rain and thunder and lightning in the area, and I don't know how long my signal is going to be going well. So we are aiming for within 30 minutes to an hour or so of the live stream, but we are going to get through the topic of today. And we only have one topic of today, so we should be able to do it in an hour or so. So let me go ahead and check who's watching live, which is a pretty I'm pretty late, so maybe that's why people aren't here, but that's okay. We have Tanya D, a member and moderator of the channel, longest member of the channel, saying good evening, everyone. Hello and good evening to you. Nice to have you back. I know you was having a good little birthday vacation going on, so we haven't seen you here a while in the live stream, but it's nice to have you back here. Hope you've recovered from your vacation. Oh, snap, y'all. I got my water in a wine glass. Probably not the best idea. Let's see. Tiny D says, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. It's a free way to support the channel, Bree Hive, and stay home. Yes, of course, if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It does help us out in the algorithm. And we are trying to gain more friends here to join into our little Bree Hive, okay? Join us with the tea or with the honey. What did we say the saying was going to be? Phoenix Fire, welcome into the live stream, saying good evening from Indiana. Hello, welcome in. What time zone is Indiana on? If you are new here, you know I am not the best with geography, so let us know what time zone you're on, and we're happy to have you here tonight. And Mary Malarkey saying happy Tuesday from Chicago, 31 degrees. That does not sound fun. I don't know how many degrees it is here, but all I know is it's raining like crazy. There was lightning, there was thunder, and our power went out earlier while I was at work. So I am not trying to have that happen again on the live stream. It's not as bad right now, but we don't want to jinx it. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got Tiny D saying the trial wasn't live. It was just a lot of small YouTubers who were live tweeting about the case. I thought they said that they were going to live stream the closing, though. I could be mixing it up with another case because there's a lot of cases going on. Did y'all hear that Ruby Frankie pled guilty to her charges? We'll talk about that in just a little moment. So let's go see. Mary Malarkey says, oh, we are having wine. I will join you. No. Well, I had wine earlier, so I guess it's not a complete no. But there is water, ice water in my wine glass now because I had wine earlier. But now it is water with ice. But feel free to divulge for me. Dana M says, hey, y'all, sad he had to be a scumbag. What a gift to throw away. And y'all know I got some like feisty messages saying that I was doing basically like evil's people's work by reporting on the case, but I don't think I said it was probably my thumbnail. But thumbnails are like what? Clickbait? You know thumbnails are clickbait. So whatever. But I don't think I cited either way until last Thursday's stream where I said, Although she probably has some guilt as well, the court could still find him guilty. And we'll talk about it all in a moment to see why that even happened. We have Phoenix Fire saying it's 10:25 p.m. here. Well, welcome. It is late, way beyond my bedtime there, but we're happy to have you here. You're on the East Coast time then. Tanya D says, did Alpha pass? It says, Alpha did pass his test. Partially why we did not do a live stream on Sunday, because I took all of Sunday to recover. It was my baby cousin's birthday. It was my best friend's birthday, and Alpha passed his test. I probably indulged too much in adult activities, aka liquid courage. And I pretty much had to sleep all day Sunday. So I'm sorry for not doing the members a live stream last week. We're gonna have to figure out a time and a day to get that back popping on the weekend so that everybody can join in live. But yes, he did pass his test. So he is on smooth sailing through the last semester of his RN license, or I guess not license, but degree. And so hopefully we'll check back in with y'all in about 6 months and my boy will be an RN. Okay. Yes, I hope so. All right. So let's talk about Ruby Frankie real quick, and then we're going to get into the Jonathan Major stuff. Now, Kimmy, our paralegal of the channel, is not here today, so we're not going to have all the cool banners and everything, but that is okay. But you know what? I can make it happen. Y'all know I can't really type on camera, so that's really one of the bigger issues in trying to post stuff while streaming. But let me go ahead and run a chat for the Jonathan Majors story. Do you think that Jonathan Majors, that JM, I'm gonna put JM, should have been found guilty of assault? Let's see, of assault and harassment. I don't know where the harassment came from. So if any of y'all know why they're claiming harassment, let me know. So Jonathan Majors, let's see, harassment. I don't know what you're doing, a grammar thing. Yes, he's guilty. That boy lost all his contracts. That is not good. Yes, he's guilty. No, he's innocent. And we're going to do our favorite. I don't know. Where is Deacon Fatal? We haven't seen her in a minute. I don't even know. Rich people problems. Rich people problems. Is he ghetto? Is he guilty? That doesn't even make sense. Is he ghetto? No, that's not even part of the case, Bree. Okay. Do you think that JM, standing for Jonathan Majors, should have been found guilty of assault and harassment? And I'm just going to do of GJ, which is Grace Jabari, his ex-girlfriend. But you know what, Megan? I was going to say Megan Thee Stallion. It is not Megan Thee Stallion. When we covered Meghan Markle, I called her Megan Thee Stallion. Now we talk about Megan Good. I'm going to call her Megan Thee Stallion. Can y'all tell I like Megan Thee Stallion? Okay, so do you think that Jonathan Majors should have been found guilty of assault and harassment of Grace Jabari? Options are yes, he is guilty. No, he's innocent. I don't even know. Rich people problems. Shout out to Deacon Fatal. Okay. So the poll is in the chat. If you are watching live on YouTube, please go ahead and vote so that we can figure out where the chat is leaning. Do we think that he should have been found guilty? We're going to get into why he was found guilty. But first, we're going to go ahead and talk about Ruby Frankie, which we have covered very briefly on this channel. I don't think that we've had a dedicated stream for her, but if you don't know who I'm talking about, Ruby Frankie is a YouTube influencer. They were like family vloggers, and she was very known for like her family vlogs with, her kids and everything. But then she started to be known as for her kind of not volatile, but aggressive parenting style. She made like one kid sleep on like a beanbag for doing something wrong, took away his bedroom set, basically. Her like 5 or 6 year old daughter forgot to bring lunch to school, and she basically told the school that she wasn't bringing her no lunch, and y'all better not give her no lunch because she needs to learn responsibility. She was 5 or 6. She was very young at the time. So she got arrested a few months back for abuse to her children. Her 12-year-old son ran out of the house and into a neighbor's house and let them know that he was hungry. He looked malnourished. He had tape around his arms and his legs. And she was arrested along with her new business partner because people were kind of getting on her about the way that she was parenting. She stopped the family vlogging channel, and then she went on to like a parenting advice channel with some therapist that was actually disciplined a lot within her licensing. So she started this channel with her. Both of them got arrested for abuse of Ruby Frankie's children. Okay. So they're in jail. Ruby, or what is the other lady's name? I can't even remember her name. But anyway, she asked for a speedy trial. Basically, she's ready to get going. The prosecution asked for them to delay the trial. So I believe her trial is actually delayed at this moment. And Ruby Frankie had her hearing, I think, yesterday. And she went ahead and pleaded guilty to counts of child abuse. And I forgot what her other charge was. But she is facing 60 years in prison for basically abusing her two young children, which I was very, very surprised that she actually pled guilty to that. I thought she was going to deny it. I thought she was going to make a spectacle of this. I thought this was going to be a trial that us lawyer YouTubers were going to get to cover and look at and digest and all of the things, but she decided to plead guilty. Now, it may have been the best move for her because there's an overwhelming amount of evidence against her, including evidence from her own older children. They have been trying to save these kids for years. She was leaving them at home by themselves. She was not feeding them, for one. She had them tied up. She had the children tied up. Okay. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence, but what shocked me, but should not have shocked me because she is pleading guilty, which what did we learn from Edelson? Why are they pleading guilty? So they can probably try to get a deal. And so what we found out today is that she is also going to be testifying against her business partner. And I watched a news clip, and I'm not sure if it was the partner's daughter or I think it was the partner's daughter or Ruby Frankie's daughter, but I'm pretty sure it's the partner's daughter that said that those parenting styles, although they were doing it to Ruby Frankie's children, it was actually the partner, the business partner's kind of parenting style. And did I mention that this therapist had already been disciplined for violated her license rules in the past, but it had been so much time that they no longer had to report it on her license. So it's absolutely crazy, but Ruby Frankie has pleaded guilty, and I'm sure it's going to be in exchange for a reduced sentence. But what a lot of people don't realize is when people do those guilty pleas for a reduced sentence, sometimes they don't even reduce the sentence by that much. So from my knowledge, she's facing up to 60 years for these abuse charges. We don't know what she's going to get quite yet because other homegirl hasn't gone to trial, and Ruby Frankie just pled guilty, so she hasn't had a sentencing hearing or anything. They may be waiting to see what she's going to say on the stand. Okay? They might wait to see what she's going to say on the stand, because you can't just say, oh, I'm going to testify against her and then get up there and say, oh, she did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong. You already pled guilty, so she's going to have to spill some tea. She's going to have to spill some tea of what's going on there. So let's go ahead and check out what the chat is going. Or what the chat is going. What the chat is saying. Spirit of the Trees, hello and welcome back into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Saying hello, smart people. Hello to you as well. Dana M says he's only 34. Yes, Jonathan Majors, who we're going to cover in just a moment, I believe is only 34, 35, somewhere in there. And his career was taking off. He was doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And even though I didn't like his characters, nothing against him, but I didn't like his characters. They was a little bit too much. And maybe I'm not like good in the art theater world, but I felt like he was just acting too hard. I don't know. I may just be out of control. Connie Cat says cold up here in Chicago. I believe that. Oh, is it snowing yet? It gotta be snowing. Spirit of the Tree says, "You're cute. Stop. Don't stop." So nice. Mary Malaki says, "I missed the part of who he is." As far as Jonathan Majors is an actor who was in Ant-Man Quantumanium, and he was the villain in that story. And then he was also the villain in Creed 3, which is that boxing movie with Michael B. Jordan. He was getting on my nerves in there too. Both of the cases, it was like, I mean, not cases, both of the movies, like, you owe me something. And now the DA has brought a charge against him. And they're like, you owe me something. I don't mean to laugh at his pain. I don't know if he deserved it. Okay. Spirit of the Tree says, "Oh, I know the Frankie case. Yeah, the Ruby Frankie case. And she just pleaded guilty. So we're not going to get a trial out of her. We may get a trial out of her friend. Maybe her friend will plead guilty now too, now that she knows her friend is going to testify against her." Connie Cat says, "Ruby Frankie is a wild case. Scary, wild. Absolutely crazy. And the crazy part about her case is she was doing it on live, not on live YouTube, but on YouTube where people could see it. And so when she got arrested, they ended up banning her. What was the other channel called? Something Connections. And then her family channel was called 8 Passengers because she had like 6 kids. The whole family all together was 8 people. The dad moved out of the house and said he didn't see his kids for like a year and a month, and he didn't know this was happening to them. But then you talk to the older daughter and she's like, no, this stuff been happening for like a long time, even when we were on YouTube. So it's crazy. Jody, is that the partner's name, the business partner's name? Spirit of the Tree says, "This is a crazy story. Absolutely crazy. It's so many moving pieces. I haven't really done a breakdown of it, and I don't know if we really need a breakdown of it because now the actual YouTuber who is here in the vicinity with us on YouTube, she's not actually going to trial. So I'm wondering if her friend, her business partner's trial is going to be streamed. I hope it is. I think it will be something good for us to cover. Just Me MD says, "The legal details of her plea agreement are sad and scary." I have not seen the plea agreement. I literally was like making sure I had everything together for today's stream about Jonathan Majors, and her case just happened to pop up right under it on YouTube. So I have not seen the legal details of her plea agreement. So maybe we can cover that on Thursday. We also do still have the Mariah Carey complaint, but like I said earlier, my weather is not too good here. So we're probably not going to get to that today, but I mean, it's still Christmas, so we can cover it later on this week. So if I find the legal details to her plea agreement, then maybe we'll cover that and then Mariah Carey on Thursday, as long as nothing else comes up. Mary Malarkey says, "Throw the biggest book at her. She's facing up to 60 years, and I believe she's middle age, around 40 or so. Is 40 considered middle age? I don't know anymore. But yes, so she is facing 60 years. So even if she pleads guilty, they can still give her like 50 years. I don't know what they offered her. Just Me MD, do you know what they actually offered her for her plea agreement? Essie says, "Oh, waving. Hello and welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight." Rachel Mills says, "I wish we could get a trial covering what happened to Britney Spears. Sadly, I think that will never happen." Yeah, with the conservatorship and everything, is that what you're referring to? No. You can go to court when they're having those hearings, but that's not something that's going to be live streamed because most of the hearings, I mean, I guess you can join via Zoom. And she would have to sue about it too. Is she suing about it? Anything that's going on in the conservatorship to go to trial, it's over like littler thing, or I guess it could be over big things of whether she deserves to be in a conservatorship. But I don't really know too much of what's going on with her to know if she's suing about something or not. Rachel Mills says, "It probably will not be streamed. It involves children. A lot of courts get icky when it comes to children." That is also true. So we probably have to deal with the live tweets on that one too. Thanks for catching that, Rachel Mills. Saying, Spirit of All Tree says, "Jody is definitely in her 50s. Okay, that is the business partner of Ruby Frank. I'm talking about, what is her name? Ruby Frank. How old is Ruby Frank? I'm pretty sure I can look it up. Let's see. How old is Ruby Frank? We can look it up. How old is Ruby Frank. And if you guys are just popping in and you haven't already, make sure you do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. And we also have a poll going up in the chat, the live stream chat, asking whether Jonathan Majors should have been found guilty of assault and harassment of Grace Jabari. This is the case that we have covered pretty much twice in the last 2 weeks. He was just recently found guilty of the charges brought against him. Do you think it was a fair verdict? I know a lot of people were saying in the chat, in the comments, that they don't think that the prosecution has actually proved their case. And I'll get to my opinion on that in just a moment of whether I think that they proved the case. So let's go ahead and see what other people. Oh, I was going to see how old is Ruby Frankie. I don't think it's gonna tell me. She was born in 1982. She looks a lot older than that, but I mean, I guess 40, so she would be 41 right now. So yeah, 40, but I don't know. She looks older than 40 to me. Does she look older than 40 than y'all? Or is it just me? Cardova82 says, good evening to Queen Bree and the amazing Bree Hive. Hello, welcome back to the live stream. We haven't seen you in a while on the live stream. Nice to have you back. Rachel Mills says, yep, I have gone to those hearings. As far as the conservatorship hearings, makes sense. Spirit of the Tree says 42, my guess, and she's 41. So you were spot on. She will be 42 in 2024. So really spot on. Okay, yeah. So she's 41. She's being accused of abusing her children, which is horrible. And she had 6 children. I'm wondering if it happened to all of them. But at the same time, she kind of put on a live display of signs of abuse, definitely, during her own YouTube video. So I wouldn't be surprised if the other kids were also abused there. Tanya D doing what she do, saying hey to everyone walking in. Love to see it. All right, let's see where we're at with our likes today. Oh, we are at 13 likes with 18 people watching live. So I know some people have not hit the like button. If you have not already, please do hit the like button. It helps us out. It helps us gain friends and give us more commentary of what's going on in the cases that we're covering. So let me go ahead and take a peek at the poll, which a good amount of you have voted. We got 14 votes in. This is the last chance to get your votes in about Jonathan Majors. And while I wait for that to happen, I'm going to go ahead and do our transition. I don't think I really ended the Ruby Frank part of it. Maybe I did. Anyways, Ruby Frank pleaded guilty to abusing her children and is going to testify against her business partner, who she made a second YouTube channel with, to give us all parenting tips about apparently how to lock your kids in the basement, which is really inappropriate. But now at least her partner is going to trial and she pleaded guilty. So my girl is going to jail, hopefully going to jail for some amount of time. Sometimes they give them a good deal. Other times they give them a bad deal. Me thinking that she was a YouTube influencer and to kind of make an example out of her, I think she's still going to get a decent amount of years behind bars, which she should, because she's being accused of hurting her children. Okay? Her own children. Not good to hurt any children, but God darn it, your own children. Come on now. All right, we got another vote in, so we gave you enough time for it. Do you think that Jonathan Majors, Mr. Marvel, Mr. Creed, Mr. other TV show / movie that I don't really know what it is, but he had a great role in it, should be found guilty of assault and harassment against Grace Jabari, his ex-girlfriend, who is like British or something, I don't know, from England. Don't judge me for my accent. Maybe I need to get a voiceover in an English accent. You think they have that? I don't know. Okay, so we have 25% saying yes, he is guilty. They properly found him guilty. 38% saying no, he's innocent. And we also say 38%, I don't even know, rich people problems, or I put rich problems, supposed to say rich people problems. So some of us don't care. I gotta stop giving the neutral options because the chat does not care about these rich people problems we don't have time for. I gotta get a little sound that do like the little ching ching. We don't give a about the rich people. Okay, so let's see. The chat is still not changing. We have 16 votes in, and it's even on no, he's innocent. And I don't know rich people problems. Go ahead and drop in the chat why you think he's innocent, why you think he should have been found guilty, and why you don't know because it's rich people problems, which we missed Deacon Fatal on that one, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and check out some chats. Then we're gonna go ahead and jump into an article that I found talking about the guilty plea. And then we're gonna go over what else were we gonna go over? Then we're gonna go over kind of our opinions and how it worked out. Now, this is not a full breakdown of everything because I was not in the courtroom and I know a lot of you were not in the courtroom. We're just kind of talking about summaries that we received at this point and what kind of evidence. We watched a good amount of the evidence last stream on Thursday. So if you missed that, make sure you go back and check it out. I should put the link in the description box, but your girl be busy. I'm gonna have to figure it out though. So make sure you go and check out the stream from last Thursday if you missed the breakdown of the evidence, because we watched video footage, we looked at pictures, we looked at text messages. So make sure you guys go and check it out. Let me see what the chat is saying here. Just Me MD says they are leaving that up to the courts, which is weird. The lawyer, Natalie Lawyer Chick, and some of the other covered in detail. Her sentencing is in February after pre-sentencing report. Okay, thank you for that. I will go check it out from them and not still the content, but still the documents from them. If they show the documents, I will be stealing it from them. Okay, Cardova82 says, hi to Miss Tanya, looking better than ever. Of course, as always, she just celebrated a birthday, so make sure to wish her a happy birthday. Spirit of the Tree says, I've been following since the arrest, but I'm interested in Majors. Yes, we're going to go ahead and check out Majors in a moment. Spirit of the Trees also says, I mean, she was obviously brainwashed or evil because she was doing it before she started this thing with the other lady. She was making her kid. I mean, could sleeping on a beanbag be like a good punishment? But for weeks on weeks to where the kid is getting back problems. I think she also sent her kids to like one of those camps. I might be lying. No, I think she sent them to a camp, but don't quote me on that. Cardova82 says, question for the chat. Anybody knows if Jody has ever been married and or have kids of her own? I did watch a clip earlier, but I was just kind of listening, and there was a younger lady that talked about Jody's parenting styles, but I'm not sure whether that was Jody's child or Ruby's child, but I'm pretty sure it's Jody's child. Don't quote me on it though. Spirit of the Tree says, I say Ruby was brainwashed with some complacency, but the thing is she was already doing kind of bad things to her kids before she started. Well, maybe she already was friends with this lady behind the scenes. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if y'all know. Tiny D says, I don't know, Cardova. Great question. As far as what was the question? Anybody know if Jody has ever been married and or have kids? Don't know all the way. However, I wouldn't be surprised if she does. Spirit of the Trees has the answers for us. Thank you, saying yes, Jody has children and she was married. Heavy on the was. Heavy on the was. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the article. Keep letting me know in the chat if you think that Jonathan, or why you think that Jonathan Majors should have been found guilty, or why you think that he shouldn't have found guilty, or why you just don't care about this man's life and his sentencing. It's only a year. So let's transition. All right, we are on to the next step of the live stream. We're getting into Jonathan Majors. We have the chat going up. We have a couple of more votes, and now it is completely even. 33% for each one. Yes, guilty. No, he's innocent. And I don't know, rich people problem. So 2 more votes came in that kind of went towards the yes, he is guilty. So let's go ahead and read the article, see what they have to say about everything. And then we are going to give our opinions on everything. And if you missed the beginning of the stream, this is going to be a shorter stream tonight because the weather in my area is pretty bad and I don't want the live stream to cut off on y'all. So let's check it out with my articles. You know, I can't see, so make it bigger. All right. So we have Jonathan Majors, the Marvel star, and the Creed star, and the other thing star that I'm sure this article will tell us what it's called again. Jonathan Majors was found guilty on Monday of 2 of the 4 counts brought against him. The 9-person jury found the actor guilty of misdemeanor assault and harassment in connection with the March 25th incident that erupted, according to Manhattan prosecutors, between Majors and his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Does anyone else think it's like weird because he was calling her his ex-girlfriend like the same night when he broke up with her that same night because she was harassing him? Yeah, I think she was also harassing him. But he broke up with her there. He's like, that's my ex-girlfriend. It's like, you guys are like still together. You just broke up 2 minutes ago. That does not count. But I digress. Let's go on. Following the verdict, the judge ordered a new order of protection and set the sentencing date for February 6th. So we're not going to know how long he's going to be in jail, much like the Ruby Frank sentencing will be in February. Now, Major's sentencing will be in February. I guess we get through the holidays and all of the things. I think I have like a trial that week too. Pretty sure I have a trial that week, or the week before I have a trial. But yeah, so they're putting out a new protection order. So she's going to have another restraining order against him. So, I mean, it protects her, even though she had a lot of energy. My girl had a lot of energy going on. And y'all, I still have to vote up for those people who did not get to vote yet. I want to still see if the chat changes their mind as we read through the article. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said his office is committed to centering survivors in all of our work and thanked Jabari for bravely telling her story despite having to relive her trauma on the stand. The evidence presented throughout the trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse and escalating patterns of coercion far too common across the many intimate partner violence cases we see each and every day, Bragg said in his statement. And that can be a slippery slope. Yes, there are patterns of psychological and emotional abuse. We listened to the tape partly, or I think we listened to the whole tape about him trying to tell her to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. And we were kind of on the fence of like, is that really emotional abuse? I think it can be if it's like consistently telling somebody that they need to be better, basically to live up to your image, sure. But on that isolated incident, would it be considered kind of psychological and emotional abuse? No, I don't think so. Maybe he's a dick, sure. Oh, I gotta use my bleeping sounds, huh? Oh gosh. Maybe he's yeah, sure. It's still not working, y'all. I still haven't fixed it. I can't hear it, but hopefully y'all can hear my sensor sound. Could he be an a-hole? Sure. He could be an a-hole. One isolated incident. But if that's constantly the way that he's talking to her, then I can definitely understand the psychological and emotional abuse. But did the prosecution actually prove psychological and emotional abuse? I don't know. I think maybe they're hinting at the fact that, okay, originally from the September 2022 incident, she said she didn't tell on him because he basically was like, oh, I'm going to off myself. I'm going to do these bad things to me if you tell on me. So yeah, I would consider that to be psychological and emotional abuse that's worthy of a restraining order. But the messages or the conversation that was recorded without his knowledge, the conversation about the Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama, that in itself, I would not consider emotional abuse. What do y'all think? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think about that conversation, telling her she should be like some Black influential women. Let me know if y'all think that alone could be psychological and emotional abuse. Okay. In a statement, let's show the people. Okay. In a statement to NBC News, Major's attorney Priya Chandri said it's clear that the jury did not believe Grace Jabari's story of what happened in the SUV because they found that Mr. Majors did not intentionally cause her injuries. We are grateful for that. We are disappointed, however, that despite not believing Miss Jabari, the jury nonetheless found that Majors was somehow reckless in attacking him. Now, how could they have potentially found that she was reckless? We went over the law on the last live stream, which the assault misdemeanor can be intentional causing injuries or reckless charging injuries in order to qualify for the third degree assault charge. What the attorney is saying is that they found that he did not intentionally cause the injuries. However, he did recklessly cause the injuries. How could that be? What have we talked about the last two streams? He's substantially bigger than her. Him picking her up, tossing her into the car, not to be sounding like I'm on her side, but tossing her into the car like a rag doll. She was a tiny tiny girl, and he's a big, muscular, prepared for boxing movies, prepared to be a Marvel villain, all of the things. He's a big guy, and we talked about it on this channel before. Even a guy my size could do damage, okay? And I'm like 5'3", 5'4". And a guy my size, probably same thickness or even a little skinnier than me, could do damage. And what is Jonathan Majors look like? How tall? What is Jonathan Majors' height and weight? Let's see. He's 6 feet. Ain't no way he 166 pounds. That can't be right. He's 6 feet. I believe that. What is Jonathan Majors' weight? Let's just do weight. They said 166 pounds. No way, unless he lost a lot of weight. They're really saying that he's 166. That's smaller than me. He's not that skinny. You cannot tell me that he's that skinny. He didn't look that skinny in Creed either. Apparently, he's only 166, so maybe there wasn't that big of a weight difference in that one. There's no way. Do y'all believe that? I am in shock. How can he be 166? I'm really trying to figure this out. He cannot possibly. No way. Do y'all believe that? Oh my gosh. Whatever. Let me go on. Maybe there is not that big of a weight difference, but there is no way that man is 6 foot with all of those muscles and only weigh 166. I weigh more than 166. Okay? So I'm just in shock, and I'm waiting for some comments to come in to say whether y'all believe it or not. But I don't believe he's only 160. I mean, I guess pure muscle. No, but muscle is heavy. I don't know about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me move on because I cannot get past that. Oh my gosh. That shocked the mess out of me. So maybe there's not that big of a weight difference. I don't know. But I mean, I guess if she's like 115, it's still kind of a big weight difference. But at this point, I'm feeling like I can take Jonathan Majors. Like 166, yeah, we about the same, but I'm a little bit more, okay? So I think I could take Jonathan Majors. But okay, I guess that goes to my statement of even a guy my size. But to me, he's not my size because he's like 6 foot. So he's still already bigger than me, but we're close in the same weight bracket. So I'm gonna say same size, right? And I don't know. That ruined my whole point, to tell y'all the truth. That really ruined my whole point. And that is shocking to me. That gotta be wrong. That has to be wrong. How much? I'm really trying to figure it out. How much does Jonathan Majors weigh? Come on. It has to be more than 166. It has to be at least 200 pounds. Has to be. Y'all giving me a workout and diet plan. I don't want that. No way. I don't believe it. And I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm going. He ate 6,000 calories in one day for a bodybuilder movie, and y'all want to tell me he's 166 pounds? Oh, no, no, no. What is his height, weight, and shoe size? Yeah, tell us all of that information. How big is this guy? He cannot possibly be that small. There's no way. His dad's name is Winfred, if y'all care. Oh man, he has expressive eyes, whatever the heck that means. He's 75 kilo. No, they are literally saying this man is one. This one says he's 165. No freaking way. He's 165 with a size 12 shoe and he's 6 foot. That's a skinny guy. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty good with weight. That's a skinny guy. And he does not look like a skinny guy to me. I could be wrong. Maybe the camera does put on like 20 pounds, 30 pounds or something like that because he looks way bigger than that. He looks way bigger than that because he looks bigger than my husband. And my husband weighs a lot more than 165. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry that I got so sidetracked on that, but there's no, like, I don't believe it. Like, let me show y'all this man. Let me show y'all this man. What is this showing? Oh, that's the wrong screen. Let me show y'all the right screen. Y'all are telling me that he's 165. Look at his leg. There's no way. I'm sorry I'm so distracted on this, but there's just no way. I don't believe it and I will not believe it. I don't believe that. That's too much. That's too much muscle to be that small, but maybe he's super lean. I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm freaking wrong. Okay. Let me move on. What was I even talking about at that point? Recklessness. Recklessness. He's bigger than her. Well, let's figure out how small she is because at this point, if he's 165 and she's 150, I mean, it might be equal battleground. Not saying men should fight with women, but at this point, I thought she was super small and I might be wrong. Grace Jabari's weight. She's 121 pounds and 5'7". So, I mean, 40 pounds. But 40 pounds in man versus 40 pounds in women is way different than expect. That man is a whole muscle. I don't care what y'all say. He's a whole rock muscle. So it is what it is what it is. He's only 165. We're going to go with what the internet is telling us because I have no way to say, hey, come here, Jonathan Majors, come get on a scale and show me that you weigh the same amount as I do. And I'm 5'3". You cannot I don't have that much muscle. Okay, I don't. But somehow him being 8 inches taller than me is somehow that muscular. Absolutely ridiculous. My brother is more than that. And he looks a little skinny. And Jonathan Major still looks bigger than him. And my brother's like 5'10", 5'11". So I don't believe it. Y'all let me know if y'all believe it, but I don't believe it. Anyways, recklessness. He's still a man. He still has all the muscle, even if he's the leanest person ever. Picking up a 121-pound girl and throwing her all around. She could get injured, even if he's not trying to injure her, which we talked about on Thursday's live stream. Even if he's not trying to injure her, it's a very high likelihood her punching and trying to kick him and stuff, it might hurt a little bit, right? It might hurt a little bit, unless she's like a trained martial artist or fighter or whatever. She's probably not going to do that much damage to him. Sure, she got nails, she'll scratch him. Sure, she might give him a little bit of a bruise. But is her punch going to hurt as bad as his punch, who's been training for Creed 3 and to be a Marvel villain? Probably not. Even if she was trained, it probably would not. And even at 121 trained, I just don't see it, y'all. Sorry. That's where the recklessness comes from. I thought he was at least 210. That dude is pure muscle. I don't know. That's, I guess he's pure muscle. Good for him. Good for him. Let's go on. Where's the freaking article at this point? Okay, so recklessness. Mr. Majors is grateful to God, his family, his friends, and his fans for their love and support during these harrowing 8 months. Mr. Majors still has faith in the process and looks forward to fully clearing his name, said Sandri, which is his attorney. The verdict appeared to have an immediate effect on Major's career in Hollywood, which is not good, including his role in the future Marvel superhero franchise. Marvel Studios will not be moving forward with the actor who plays the villainous King the Conqueror and had been slated to appear in 2026 Avengers: The King Dynasty, according to the source with direct knowledge of the decision. Now, I thought that the Marvel movie was already done, so I thought they would go forward with it. But I did realize a very important part this morning when I was talking to my husband. Even if they had the whole movie done and he had a contract with Marvel, there's probably a morality clause and also an indemnification clause. Even if he did have a contract and the movie was completely done, they could sue him to pay them for all the money that they put into the movie if he was basically the main character energy. And they made this whole movie, and then he was charged with this crime. So, and I said this, I was like, oh, I think he'll be fine. Even if he's convicted, it's only 1 year. They'll still push the movie forward. I forgot about those clauses, okay? Indemnification and moral clause. You can't be beating people up on the street. I understand that you are a villain, but you can't be beating people up. You can't be doing drugs. You can't be selling drugs. You can't be running around with guns. All of the things you cannot be doing. Morality, right? You're not, violating people. Other thing, indemnification. If you do something wrong to make sure that this movie does not go forward, you will be paying us all the money and some. Or they might have like a liquidation clause, which if you ruin the movie, it's going to cost you $3 million. You have to pay us $3 million. That's the end of story. Or they just have a pure indemnification clause and they have to figure out how much he owes them in court, basically. So luckily for him, the movie, as far as Marvel goes, is not done. But I believe there's like a army movie that's possibly done that he may be facing that morality clause and the indemnification clause. And hopefully he has a liquidation so he knows exactly how much he's going to be paying. And I know he's been in some major roles, but I don't know if he has that much money yet. And it could be just because I don't really know him as an actor. Y'all can let me know in the chat. Sorry for the mic bump. Okay. Let me get back into it. During the 2-week trial, Jabari took the stand for several days. Majors did not testify, nor do I think he called any witnesses. Jabari testified that throughout their relationship, she was scared of Majors and also feared he would hurt himself if she left him, which we did see the text messages of him threatening self-harm. If in their opening statements, prosecutors said Major slapped Jabari in the face and fractured the middle finger on one of her hands after she took his phone. Street surveillance footage from the night shows Jabari getting out of the SUV and Major's picking her up and putting her back in the car. Prosecutors claim that the actor threw her back inside the vehicle like a football. He was kind of tossing. I'm not even gonna lie. He was throwing her. I'm not gonna lie. He was definitely throwing her. And she's smaller than him. And like I said, 40 pounds on a guy is a lot different than 40 pounds on a girl. Major's 34 has denied striking Jabari, and his lawyers contend he was actually the victim and suffered scratches. Yes, scratches versus cuts. You gonna lose every time. I'm sorry. Major's attorney said Jabari went out dancing with strangers after the alleged abusive encounter, but Jabari claimed that she was seeking comfort by those who came to her aid on a street corner following the assault. I do not agree with that statement. I don't think they came to her aid. She went to them whining, looking for sympathy. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I think they're both toxic. I think they're both toxic. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. To me, they are both toxic. Now, she's seeking comfort, blah, blah, blah. They came to her aid. They did not come to her aid. They talked to her. One of them hugged her, and then she chased that man down the street again. So she was gonna do what she want regardless. She was not seeking comfort. If Majors would have put his hands out and said, okay, come on, baby, let's go back home, she would have went back home with that man. She was not gonna go out to that club after that. If he would have said, come on, baby, let's go, she would have went with him. I guarantee you she would have went with him. That's my opinion, speculations, all of the things. Chandri, the attorney, has also suggested that the fact that Majors is black and Jabari is white is the reason he and not she was arrested after the alleged altercation. I don't agree with that. I think it's the fact that she was a woman and he was a man that was substantially, in my opinion, substantially bigger than her. But as we just found out, he weighs less than me, so I need to go on a diet at this point. The star of Creed 3, referring to Majors, and his critically acclaimed 2019 independent film, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Interesting. I kind of want to watch it, but is it like support if I watch it? Let me know. Major's rapid rise to superstardom was stalled in March after the allegations emerged. In late October, the Disney-owned distribution label Searchlight Picture removed Major starring bodybuilding drama magazine. Oh, he had movies. Okay. I thought I read this whole article, but apparently I didn't. Bodybuilding drama magazine Dreams from the fall movie calendar. The film, which earned raves at the year's Sundance Film Sundance, apparently does not have a release date. Major's future with Marvel was also unclear before Monday's verdict. He lost everything. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't showing y'all the article, but he lost everything over a misdemeanor. He was like on a rise and lost everything over a misdemeanor. Now, what we talked about last live stream, he was going to be found guilty, and I talked about this earlier. He was going to be found guilty of the assault, at least the assault. I still don't know where the harassment came from. I need to look more into it, but y'all know I work a 9 to 5 too. Okay. I got things to do. All right. But the assault, he was going to be found guilty of that. I was like, okay, maybe he could get off because the prosecution, they present it well with the live tweets and the summaries that we got? It did not feel like they presented it well, but apparently they were able to get through to the jury. Now, the assault, like I said, she for sure, in my opinion, she for sure did her own assault on him. She for sure was doing her own assault. She was taking his phone. You don't take that man personal property. She's hitting him, scratching him, biting him. Do we know if it's all because she was trying to get away? We don't know. But the driver seemed to think that she was the one attacking him. But also, could it have been some type of bias because he was a man and maybe his girl slapped him up a couple of times when he was cheating? I don't know, right? But it seems like she is the one that triggered the attack. And from the videos that we watch, because she had been distressed trying to get him back to love her, we don't know. But from the videos we watch, her actions would be considered assault as well, right? She's chasing this man down. I mean, she could have been like, what was the other girl's, what's her name, like Heather something, that just got convicted of chasing the older man down and shooting and killing him. She could have been in one of those kind of situations, right? That's completely possible as well. But in the videos that we saw in the altercation, Major's explanation of it and her explanation of not really knowing what's going on, I could definitely see her as, yes, she was also committing assault, right? But also his behavior back to her would be considered assault. Now, if he would have got out of the car, ran down the street, and she just followed him until he lost her like he did, then he probably would not have been arrested. In my opinion, there is some other speculation that Kimmy shared with me, a video that I think Tanya D has reviewed, and I think Deacon Fatal has also reviewed, as far as the Manhattan District Attorney's Office doing some sketchy stuff. That could be a whole different level, but we're not going to get all into that right now. But I think that if he would have just ran away with all the video evidence, not texted her, not called her, heck, not called the police. I understand he was trying to help her, but part of me was like, you shouldn't have called the police, because you called the police trying to help her and then you got arrested, right? You wasn't even there the whole night and they still arrested you. Anyways, I digress. Let me get off that. I don't want to get on the little, Black man injustice thing. I don't want to get on that train right now. But I think if he would have just ran away, he would not have been arrested. The fact that he went back to that car and physically picked that girl up and threw her, I don't care if they want to say push, put her in. We saw the video. He was picking her up and throwing her in the car. If he would have stiff armed her, maybe he would have had a little bit more leeway, but the pickup and the slam and the pickup and the slam and the pickup and the slam multiple times, yeah, you're qualifying as assault too. What we talked about on the last stream, he probably, and I'm not a defense attorney, I still haven't talked to Natalie about this, but I think Natalie is in Virginia. I don't think she's in New York, but she's close enough over on that side, right? That if he would have pleaded self-defense, he might have been better off. He thought that was the force necessary to get rid of her, to get her to stop. I thought if I locked her in the car, she would leave me alone. However, I could never lock her in the car because the little rascal kept getting loose. I don't know if you can say that to the police, but you clearly see it in the video. I think he would have been better off alleging self-defense. He didn't call any witnesses. He didn't defend himself. He just said, I didn't assault her. But technically, sir, yes, you did. But sometimes assaults and sometimes unaliving is justifiable if you are defending yourself. You can use the reasonable force necessary, but you have to assert the defense. The court is not going to assert the defense for you. And so that's where we are. That is where we are. So let me go ahead and go back to the vote. We are now at 26 votes, a couple more than we had before. And the question is, do you think that Jonathan Majors should have been found guilty of assault and harassment? We are not addressing the harassment part of things because I really don't know where it came from still. The only thing I can think of is when he walked back past her, giving her the funky eye, the evil eye, whatever he was doing to her that made her go chase him again. Like, you're being a little petty at that point, sure. But is it harassment? I don't know. I'm not a criminal attorney, okay? He's definitely egging her on when he did that part. I don't know. But to me, like I said before, they're both toxic. That's my opinion on the situation. Like I said, I think he did qualify for assault, especially in the misdemeanor degree. But I also think that she qualified for assault, and I was very surprised that they dropped the charges against her. But like I said, they could have said, "Oh, well, she was just defending herself for months and months." Basically, like a battered wife syndrome. It's basically what they were giving her. Battered wife. She's been psychologically, emotionally, and potentially physically abused in the past. So she only reacted this way because of ways that he's treated her before, which is a very true and valid defense, to tell you the truth. But she also committed assault and she needs to bring that defense. I don't know if you can bring battered wives for misdemeanor assaults. I don't know, but she needed to bring that defense, in my opinion. Okay, so we got more votes coming in. Do you think that Jonathan Majors should have been found guilty of assault and harassment of Grace Jabari? And 32% says yes, he's guilty. 39% says no, he's innocent. Let me know in the chat. I'm about to go through the chat. And 29% says, I don't know, rich people problem. So we have first, no, he's innocent. And next up is, yes, he is guilty. So let me see if I can see what the chat is saying to see the opinions on everything. I know Tanya is our therapist in the chat. So let me know if you think this qualifies for psychological and emotional abuse. All right, let me see. Let me see here. Do, 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 do. I'm just trying to catch up on the chats, y'all, because we don't have our paralegal helping us tonight. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Jody got divorced in the 90s. Oh, that was a long time ago. Tanya D says, I would have caused the mistrial because I don't believe the state proved their case. It's inconclusive that he caused those injuries in the car. To me, that's reasonable doubt. I agree with Tanya there. Now, did his actions qualify for assault potentially? Yes. But Tanya makes a really, really good point. A part of it is that it has to result in injuries. He has to either intentionally or recklessly cause the injuries. And I think Tanya is right. There was enough, in my opinion, reasonable doubt to call that he actually caused the injuries. Did she hit her head at the club? Did she hit her head when she was at home alone by herself with no cameras? She wasn't bleeding at the club, but with blood, I mean, that cut was big. Would that have dripped down, or would it have gotten her stuck in her hair? We don't know. Did they have doctors testify to that? No, they just testified to the fact that she had a cut. So I think Tanya is absolutely on the right track. That she's absolutely right with that. That element probably was not proved. The overall action of him doing those things, as far as like recklessly harming her, sure, he recklessly had a reckless disregard of whether or not he would cause injury. But did he cause the injury? Is completely Tiny D. I didn't even think of that. That is a good, valid point. So to me, yes, the action would qualify as assault, but did he cause it? Yeah, it's one thing to be reckless and, rough somebody up. But a part of the assault charge is that that roughing up had to cause the injury. And Tanya D is right. I don't think that they proved that. They said, they played the bar video, they played the car video. And we said maybe she hit her head on this SUV, but they never made that clear. Maybe he scratched her with his cell phone. They never made that clear for us. So I think Tiny D is right. Cardova 82 says spirit of the trees. So her marriage didn't work, but she's going to teach me how to fix my egg. Got it. Or she's teaching you parenting skills. We're talking about the Ruby Frankie case. Chris Mullen, another member of the channel, welcome back into the live stream, saying, I do not really know anything about this case. That's okay. We're just happy that you're here. Tiny D says, my main concern is that he was convicted of 2 misdemeanors and media painted him out to be a criminal batterer. Nate, the lawyer, said the harassment is equivalent to a speeding ticket. But I just don't understand what action. Maybe I need to watch Nate the. Dang, Nate the lawyer, honestly, have not popped up on my feed in a long time. That could be my problem. I don't be on YouTube as much anymore. But yeah, I don't. And Nate the lawyer is a New York attorney too. I don't think this. He might have done. He did do criminal at one. I think he was a cop at one point, actually. So I still don't understand what behavior they're constituting I mean, I guess it's just kind of like an add-on is basically what Tanya D is going. And I agree with you. Like I said on the last stream, I think he will be fine. But now that I'm thinking about the contract part of it, he probably would not have been fine financially. Is he going to recover from this? I think no. I thought last Thursday, I thought he could recover from it, but Marvel dropping you? That's big. That's Disney dropping you. Okay. Disney owns everything. Disney owns everything. So I don't know if he can recover. I mean, he's still pretty young. So maybe he can recover. Spirit of the Tree says, Brie, I think I love you. You feel like my girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you seen some other streams? I'll be like, our girl, my girl. No, yeah. We just be chilling over here. But thank you. We love having you here. Cardova 82 says to Tiny D, when I see her, I suddenly remember Amber Heard. I wonder why. Because we don't really know if she's telling the truth. Like I said, I think if he would have just ran away, I would say walk away. But if he would have just ran away, I think he would be okay. Because just that picking up and tossing her down, throwing her down, that could have put in some jury minds that he could have caused it, right? I know it's reasonable doubt, but some jurors might have said, oh, well, he could have caused it. They didn't really say it came, or they never really proved that it came from the bar. They also never really proved that it came from the car, came from Jonathan. But there's more incidences involving Jonathan than just one run-in at the bar, right? So do I think that she's telling the truth? No. But there's video of him using his strength against her. And I think that's his downfall. There's video of him using his strength against her. But like I said, self-defense would have been a really good argument for him to make. Okay. Tiny D says, as a black man, I would expect him to reference black women. Who is he supposed to say? Queen Elizabeth. There was a whole meme about that going on. What was that, like 1 or 2 years ago? When y'all talking about queens, who are you referring to? There was a whole meme about that. But I don't know. I know why he referenced black women, because he is black, but it's also like, okay, if you want her to be like these successful black women, why not just date a successful black woman like you're doing right now? Like, why are you trying to change her into that? And it seems like they had already had problems, but you know one thing, which we won't get too deep into, Tanya, tonight, is that there is still that thing of black men becoming successful. And what do some of them do? They go on to the other side, or not the other side, but they date white women thinking that they are basically leveling up. But somehow they still want the white woman to be like the black woman. And she's not even like a cosplay black woman. That would be different, like if he was dating Kim Kardashian, a cosplay, in my opinion, cosplay black woman. He can say those kind of things, but that lady is a British white lady. Why would you expect her to be like any American black woman? Like, I just don't get the comparison. Is it abusive in that one instance? Probably not. But if it's consistently, I think it can start to mess with your psychological well-being. Basically, you're dating me and you don't even really like me. Why are you dating me? Kind of situation. Spirit of the Tree says, Bree feels like a New Orleans girl, which is where I'm from. Hey, hello. I am not from New Orleans, but I did go to undergraduate in Louisiana. I went to Grambling State University, so I don't know if that's giving you the vibes. I'm from California. Tiny D says, she was intoxicated. Have you ever had your drunk friend fallen down drunk? You try moving them, they're like dead weight. Yeah, that is true. So he might have had to muster up the strength to move her. But she did. The thing is, she did keep trying to get out the car. That's what I said. The little rascal kept escaping. So, I mean, I feel like he did what he had to do. He tried to put her into safe quarters, but she just kept following him. I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. Spirit of the Tree says, there's a force of passion that can't be measured. Exactly. When you are like, one, when you're drunk, one, when you're really angry at your partner, some things can't stop you, even your partner. So in that position, he could not stop her. But at the same time, he was texting people that he wished they could be kissed. He could be kissing them right now. Why are you texting other women that you wish you can be kissing them? You can't even like play that off and be like, oh, she sent that to me. You sent it to her. Like, the whole time I thought it was Megan Good trying to get with him. Whole time he over there being thirsty, trying to go get him a Coretta Scott King. Over there trying to get him a Coretta Scott King for real. Tanya D says, you are too cute to Spirit of the Trees. Yes, she is. I don't know what your name says, but he got reach being 6 feet. Yeah, definitely. He has way. She was 5'7", but that's still what is that? 5 inches? Can I count? Yeah, that's 5 inches different. So I said 8 inches. He like 10 inches taller than me. You want to tell me we weigh the same? Just Me MD said he's 202. I Googled what his current weight is. Okay, well, whatever was popping up, that's why you're not supposed to use Internet Explorer, because they be giving you old information. Because I was like, there's no way. That man is 166. Couldn't. Mary Malarkey says, a holiday rant. Love it. You were overdue, breathing. Yeah, definitely was. That got me off track for sure. The weight got me off track. What the hell? Shinny Graham says he's 202 pounds. That I believe. I don't believe the 165. That's why I got so sidetracked for so long. Spirit of the Tree says my hubby is 5'10" and 210. Does he look bigger than Majors, or are they about the same size? Give me references. Okay. I know, right? The rant was overdue. 6 feet is not that tall. When you compare them to me, that's pretty tall. I'm, like I said, 5'3", 5'4". Don't know how tall I am, but somewhere in between that range. So 6 feet, I guess it's not too tall, but it's still enough to, like, if I tried to fight you, I probably wouldn't be able to reach you, because if you put your arm out on my forehead, I'll just be windmilling at that point. I would not get any licks in. Okay. Mary Malika says, I found 202. Why did this not pop up for me? Like, I literally clicked on multiple articles and they all were like 165, 166. Spirit of the Tree says, I mean, he's probably smaller in real life. Yeah, I guess the camera can add some pizzazz to him, right? Tiny D says, also, she's a dancer and movement coach, so she knows how to maneuver. That girl was escaping. Okay. I guess so. That makes a lot of sense of why she was able to bend and twerk and get up out of there and chase that man down. She couldn't run, though. She could not catch that man. Spirit of the Tree says, I mean, all that muscle may be a real vital illusion. It could be, we don't like to say it, but, inflation. Like, he could be pumping up his arms. I don't know how else to say it. My reference might be different. I'm from the Netherlands. People are tall. Yeah, in America, you would think people would be tall, but we are not. We're short. Well, I don't know about everybody else. There's a lot of people that's short and stubby, and I'm okay with that because I am a short and stubby person. Tiny says she could have hurt her finger when hitting him since admitted to taking the phone. Agreed with that. I definitely agree with that, Tanya. She could have hurt herself punching Mr. Rock Hard Muscles from Creed 3. She could still be the abuser in the situation. You can't beat somebody up, break your knuckle, and say arrest them because I broke my knuckle punching them in their six-pack. Yeah, I agree with you. Reasonable doubt. Tiny D is on the reasonable doubt train hard. Yes, I agree with you, though. Spirit of the Tree says, okay, I'm bringing you all with me on my dog walk. We love it. We like an outside nature little walk. Luckily, it's not raining wherever you are, unless you're just walking in the rain and you're okay with that. Tanya D says, my cousin hit her baby daddy. Tanya, why are we putting this on the internet? Because I'm going to read it. I'm going to keep reading it. My cousin hit her baby daddy in the mouth, don't ask, and she severed 2 nerves in her hands. I believe you. I'm not gonna put my family people on blast, but I know someone that hit someone and broke their own knuckles. So no, I definitely agree with that. Could completely be a possibility. I said she was likely doing an assault herself. And if she was doing the assault, she needs to bring her defense of battered woman syndrome. And he still did some actions that could be considered assault. I think his main defense is why he didn't do self-defense. And this is coming to me right now. I think the main reason why he didn't do self-defense is because he thought that, like Tanya D said, that there was reasonable doubt that he actually caused the cut and that he actually caused the fracture. But the jury said, well, you caused the fracture because she punched you and she hurt her finger. Why am I laughing at these people paying? That's wrong. That is wrong. Let me stop. This man then lost his whole contract. He's about to be a Marvel star. Let me stop. Mary Blanket says, enjoy the walk to Spirit of the Trees. Heidi says, let's go. Yep, we are on the walk, y'all. Giving the people walking. Love it. Mary Malaki says, enjoy your walk. Chantel, hello. Welcome into the live stream. Saying DC should pay attention. Disney/Marvel will quickly replace troublesome actresses. Terrence Howard learned the hard way. And now I think that his attorney, I'm not gonna lie, I do think that his attorney, who is not a Black woman, she is a woman of color, but she's not a Black woman. She liked to throw out the Black man card. And sometimes I feel like we should reserve it sometimes for special occasions. But I do say, and this might be a hot take, this may be controversial, I do think that if Jonathan Majors was white, this would have never made it to trial. Like, I don't know, it might be a hot take. Let me know what y'all think, but I think the fact that he is Black is, and not even that he's Black and she's white. I think even if he was, even if she was Black, this would have still had a bad deal offered to him, and I think he would have still had to go to trial. So, and the fact that he's an actor and he's Black, I'm sorry, that's my hot take on this one. Spirit of the Tree says, hold up, ain't nobody gonna throw me anywhere. Well, he was kind of tossing her. He coming with to Mary Malarkey. Chantel says that video of her chasing Jonathan Majors for several blocks was wild. Like, what? I'm telling you, she was trying to be the new Heather, whatever that girl's name is, that chased that man down in her car and ended up unaliving him. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it, but you know, she was trying to catch, and her argument could be, I was trying to stop him so that, you know, the police can catch him. I don't know what her excuse will be. Mary Malarkey says, oh, okay, we're talking about the chaser. Yeah, the lady. Oh, did you not know what we were talking about the whole time? Yeah, the woman that chased this man down the street. Chantel says, yeah, I think his career is over. I don't think he's going to be able to make a comeback with Marvel dropping him. Tanya D says they shouldn't even have taken it to trial. It should have never gone to trial. This was a slap on the wrist. It's a misdemeanor. It's a less than 1 year sentence. This should not have gone to trial. He should have did some time, maybe, usually 2, 3, 4 months, maybe, and then some community service. But the fact that he is an actor, and I think the fact that he's an actor for, you know, a very major movie studio, and the fact that he's Black, that's why I went to trial. That's my opinion. Y'all can disagree. I don't know. Spirit of the Tree says, same. I work 9 to 5 too, but in mental health. Okay, that makes sense. Tiny D says he can go work for DC. Why is everybody saying that? Y'all think that DC just take the scraps? My husband said that this morning. I'm like, I guess we can invite the well, he's not a felon, but I guess the felons over here at DC, let's get lit. Like, what are we talking about? Oh my God. Oh, I must have missed that earlier because I think somebody did say something about DC, but I was thinking Washington, DC for whatever reason. But yeah. My husband said the same thing this morning. I'm like, what y'all got going on with DC? I know their movies are really corny, but y'all don't have to be putting the bad guy. I mean, I guess you need a villain, but you don't really have to put the bad guys alleged. I don't think he's a bad guy for this particular instance. Now, they have also accused him of some other violent situations, but for this particular instance, I don't think that he's a bad guy. It's just the ways that the laws work. He could be found guilty, and the justice system did find him guilty. Tiny D says, I think he should have claimed self-defense as well. His attorney is too close to the situation. And I think we're talking about that video that Kimmy shared with me. She's defending several people in similar situations to this, and she's basically trying to make a point against this particular district attorney. And this particular district attorney is like, F you, girl. I'm going to keep doing this. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, they're basically alleging that this particular district attorney, although a Black man, is very supportive of women's rights and basically just believes all women. Even if it includes putting Black men behind bars who are typically not really given a fair chance in similar situations for other race people. So, Spirit of the Tree says, I love walking into a warm house, but yes, from what I've heard, yeah. Tiny D says they dropped her charges in exchange for her testifying against him. Oh, that is new information that I didn't know about. Thank you for sharing that, Tanya. Spark Tubulus says, I agree with what Tanya says. Me too. She's spot on and calling out all the reasonable doubt for sure. Tiny D says Nate the lawyer is in New York and broke the charges down. I haven't, for whatever reason, none of his videos have popped up on my timeline. Spark Tubulus says, yeah, Jabari got immunity in exchange for her 4-day testimony. That explains a lot. Because a lot of people were saying that, oh, they just didn't press charges against her, so she must not be jailed. Oh, see, that's what happens when they like do the, sorry, I got distracted. We about to be on 2 hours. I said it was going to be 1 hour. That explains a lot, because the way that the news articles write it is that, oh, the charges, he filed charges against her or asked the DA to file charges against her, and they dropped them as if he was just like completely wrong and she didn't do anything to him. But the reason why they dropped him is because she was testifying. It was a deal, basically like Ruby Frank, what we just talked about, right? She got a deal. Lot of sense. Did not know that. Thank you, Tiny D, for sharing the link. I'm gonna check it out when we get off. Spirit of the Truth says good conversation. Spark Tubulus says she could have easily hurt herself partying. That is also true. Also, the closet has sharp corners and she was inebriated, which is historical to her lifestyle. Somebody doesn't like her. Yeah, no, she could have. Some people have insinuated that the cut looked intentional. I think we talked about it last live stream where it was too like rigid to be considered intentional. And there's a bunch of things. She was out to what time in the morning? My girl was getting lit, okay? She was getting lit. And I'll tell y'all, when I went to New York, I didn't get lit like that. But Saturday... could easily cause some injuries and don't remember where they came from on Saturday, okay? Might do it again this Saturday. I don't know. But definitely when you're drinking adrenaline, during the fight, sure, she could have gotten cut. But she had like a whole, what was that, from 12 to 7 a.m. when they found her, that she could have hurt herself. We don't know. Cheryl C, hello, welcome into the live stream. Saying hello, everyone, just popping in to say hi. I'll have to catch the replay later. It's a good one. You should catch the replay. No, I agree with Tanya D. I don't think the prosecution proved their case. I would have been a holdout. No, I definitely see the points that Tanya is catching on. I agree with you, but I think the pure action and him being much larger than her is what made the jury lean more towards Jabari's side. Spirit of the Tree says, love Nate. I do too, but I just haven't seen any of his content popping up on my pages, and I haven't gone looking for it, so that could possibly be part of my fault too. Just MD says, I only said guilty because of the car situation. If there was an option for mistrial hung jury, she hit her head at the DJ booth in the club, she was partying with her friends, then maybe the answer would have been different. Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's what could the actions, like I said, and that's what I agree with you. The only thing that I saw that he did wrong in that particular situation was the throwing her in the car, and it happened twice. They were in 2 different locations when he was doing this, so that's the only thing that I could possibly see that he did wrong. Could he have let his phone go? Yes, but at the same time, that's a slippery slope to me, the phone thing, because no, you technically cannot use physical force to defend against your property, or you can't use deadly force at least. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that's your personal property. How much force am I allowed to use? So I agree with you. Chelsea says Nate lives in Houston, Texas now. Yes, but I think he was in New York when he was an attorney, and or he is an attorney. But I think he was in New York when he started being an attorney, and I think he worked in some type of criminal justice system. I don't know if he was public defender or prosecution side, but he also was a cop in New York. Spark Tubulus says, plus she was continuously tucking her hair behind the same damaged ear. Ladies, a cut behind the ear with hair aggravating is annoying. Am I right? Never had a cut behind my ear, but I can definitely see how it could be aggravating. Tiny D says, what? I didn't know that to Cheryl C. As far as, oh, Nate lives in Houston, Texas now. I didn't know that either. Sparktubulus says he could recover from this, just need to let this die down. He definitely needs to appeal because his name and reputation is on the line. It's his first offense. Yeah, I agree. Probably people will forget about it, but I think in the Black community, we won't really forget about it. I think he can get away with it in some different communities. It's just that he was blowing up so fast, in my opinion, that I think we were. Now, will we sweep it under the rug? Y'all saw how long they swept R. Kelly under the rug. Let me stop laughing at these people, Payne. You saw how long Black people swept R. Kelly under the rug. Do I think that Black folk can also sweep this under the rug? Yes, I do. If you sweep R. Kelly under the rug, I think you can sweep this under the rug. Cheryl C says, yep, he has been in Houston for a while now. Kurt is supposedly moving there too because Nate is there. I don't know. I thought that Kurt was already he's in Texas already. I don't know what city though. Spirit of the Tree says, okay, I love in a positive way. Oh, thanks. Oh, we love it here too. Tiny says, LOL at cosplay Black woman. Yeah, I think she's a cosplay Black woman. Mary Malarkey says, I'm thinking Amber too. The way she jumped out of the vehicle twice and then the chase, I imagine her screaming at him in the vehicle. She was pissed when he left, just like Amber. I think, like I said, I think they're both toxic. But in that particular situation, she was probably the more toxic one and intoxicated, apparently. But again, I don't think drinking one margarita makes you intoxicated. Who knows how much she drank before that? I don't know. Tiny Spark Tubulus says, what is a cosplay Black woman? Kardashian? Yes. Yeah. Where you are a non-Black woman, normally when we're talking about it, more of a white woman, a Caucasian woman. Basically taking on the role of Black women, whether it be the look that we were made fun of growing up, or whether it be the dressing that we were made fun of, the speech that we've been made fun of, dating the men that were made fun of. Cosplay, you know what cosplay is. Just cosplay to be let me not say a Black woman, a stereotypical Black woman, not necessarily just a Black woman, because there's all kinds of different Black women. Chelsea says, I look at it a bit differently than him needing to date a professional Black woman. In my opinion, if he doesn't want a girl that goes out partying and getting drunk, then don't date a party girl. I agree with you, Cheryl C. I definitely agree with you there. And that's basically what he did. But it also, the way that, because he didn't say, God dang, who can we name? As it's not my community, so y'all can give me options of, successful Black women to follow after. I mean, successful white women to follow after, as far as being like, would you consider them like trophy wise? I don't even think you can consider. And my thing is, he was not like on a political movement. He was a movie star. So I don't even know who we could, and I don't be knowing actors' wives like that. So I have no idea who he could have named. Oh my gosh. I have no idea who he could have named. I don't even know any of the president's wives other than Michelle Obama. That's real ignorant. Let me go on with my live stream before I embarrass myself. Tiny says that's how I took it too, to Cheryl C, as far as dating basically any woman that's professional. I think the issue that people took with it a lot is, and this could be influenced by a lot of TikToks that I've seen, is that he specifically named Black successful women, but maybe just no white successful women came to his mind at the time, which also makes sense because he's a Black man. He's gonna think of Black people first more often than not. Spirit of the Tree says, sweet energy. Thanks. Orlando Daniel says, one of the greatest mistakes that Jonathan Majors made was trying to get his girlfriend to raise her standards and compare her to Black excellence and elegance. The Black culture is built differently, or different. And I don't know. I think that particular recording, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. And this is just my opinion, my speculations. I feel like a lot of times, and the reason why I'm speaking on this, because I know a lot of people that are in interracial relationships, and I work with a lot of people that are in interracial relationships. Sometimes people, and I don't want to make this an interracial live stream, we're almost done. But sometimes people get in interracial relationships, but they still have their biases against the other race. And specifically, I'm talking about white people and black people in America, because that, if you have to really talk about it, that those are the two races with the highest amount of, conflict, because i.e., slavery and stuff like that. And then the laws coming true, or not coming true, but the laws getting passed about interracial marriages mostly apply to black and white people. And we're having this recent immigration of a bunch of other different cultures to where a lot more people are mixing, right? Or getting into interracial relationships. But a lot of times, some people still have their biases when they are with that person. And a lot of times when we're looking at celebrity black men, and one of the reasons why I even went to a HBCU is because I went to a very diverse high school, or not diverse, a predominantly white high school, and the black boys wanted the white girls. And not saying it's a bad thing, but some black boys are raised to think that once you become successful, or a success means now dating the people that you couldn't date before. What was that? 60, maybe 50 years ago, when interracial marriages became legal. So some people feel like that is success. And for me, with Jonathan Majors and other men like him, is maybe he dated, because they weren't dating that long. It's not like they were like a super long relationship. He started to feel that success, and potentially he went that way. But what he really knew and what he really grew up with was potentially still black women. And that's why all he could do is name black women when he was trying to give her examples of who she should be like. I don't even know who to name, to tell y'all the truth, because those Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King, those are like symbols in the black community. I don't know who a symbol is, a woman symbol, a white woman symbol is in the white community. I just don't. And that's why I said, if y'all know who I should name, you should. But him as a black man, those are the symbols that he knows, probably. But he wasn't really dating that, whether she was a white woman or a black woman. Like Cheryl C said, she was a party girl. That's like, he wasn't like, you should be more like Megan Thee Stallion or City Girls. He wasn't saying that, right? So I think I could agree with Cheryl C and Tanya D as far as it could have been that he could have did, if he wanted a Megan Thee Stallion, he would have went and got a Megan Thee Stallion. But at the same time, he probably just didn't know who to list. But also what Alonda said, it could have been that he was trying to hold her to a black woman standard. And as we see now, he went straight to Megan Good. And that's potentially who he was texting during the car ride. And maybe he decided to switch back over. I don't know. Cheryl C says, have a great night, everyone. I'm visiting family and I can't stick around tonight. No problem. I hope you have a wonderful vacation. Tiny says, that combo from September 22nd made me think that the relationship was messed up then and he should have left. Again, just toxic. Agreed. I think the whole thing is just toxic and they just let it build up, right? Okay, Tiny D says, you are hilarious. Or Spark Tubulus says, you are hilarious to Tanya D. Spark Tubulus says, comedic relief. I know, I laugh too much on this live stream. I need to not laugh because this is people's lives. But I think I have like a nervous laugh or something on live streams. Mary Malaki says, I'm white and I agree with you, Bree, about the going to trial. Yeah, I think that it would not have gone to trial if he was not black. And really, to be very specific, if he was white, I don't think it would have gone to trial. It's a misdemeanor. Misdemeanors don't go to trial. A lot of cases don't go to trial. So you're telling me a misdemeanor out of all the cases is going to go to trial? Spark Tubulus says DC Comics is dying out. I never read comic books. I like the Marvel movies, and I tried to get into DC, and they suck. In my opinion, they're corny. Chantel says TC has major casting problems and hasn't fired problematic actresses and actors and actresses. Sounds like he got to go over to DC. He's no longer welcome in Disneyland. Mary Malaki says Tanya D would be a great foreman for a jury trial. Yes, definitely she would. She would. Tanya D says she chased him to get the phone to find out more about the combo. But she also said on the stand that she chased him because she wanted to walk with him. It's like, what do you mean you wanted to walk with him? Because she did try to hold his hand and walk with him. Like, it's weird. It's weird, toxic stuff. Tiny says that cut on her ear looked fresh. The blood would have been dried more if it had been 10 hours earlier. I'm not a doctor, but I've had plenty of serious injuries and worked in a hospital. I think I agree with you there. I think there should have been something because the cut, not only was the cut very long, it was very wide. So it seems like more blood should have come out, but do your ears bleed as much because of the cartilage? Because it was still cut on the cartilage part of it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Tiny D says she had a few drinks, not just one. In the car, they said that she only had the margarita at dinner. And again, we're talking about people live tweeting and we're getting summaries. So I don't know exactly how many drinks she had. So I'm basing it off of when the fight actually happened. They said it was one margarita in the car. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Spirit of the Tree says elbow cough cough. Tiny D says, I know about that to Mary Malarkey. Snow Maven, hello, welcome into the live stream, saying, heck, I'm white and I can't even think of a white woman that's comparable to Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Mary Malarkey checking me on my interracial marriage stats. So it's been 70 years for interracial marriage. Thank you, Mary Malarkey, for helping me out on that. It was unbanned in 1948. I thought it was like in the 70s. That's my fault. My bad. Chris Mullen says, date whomever you want to date, black, white, whatever, but do it from the right perspective. Exactly. Because you actually like that person and you are attracted to them, but not because they're a symbol. I definitely agree with you. And I think I'm not trying to go against my black men, but I think it happens more with black men than it does with any other race and sex, to tell you the truth. That's just my opinion. I think, let me be quiet. That's my opinion. I think the success symbol comes from black men to white women. That's it. I don't think it doesn't happen as often, in my opinion, with black women to white men, black women to Mexican men, white women to Mexican men, or whatever. I think it specifically happens more often with black men to white women. And that's my opinion from what I've witnessed in my life. Everyone can have different perspectives. Chris Mullen says, and then do not expect them to change to meet your expectations. They are who they are. And that's no matter who they are. That doesn't matter if they're black, they're white, they're a party girl, they're Coretta Scott King, they're Michelle Obama, they're Megan Thee Stallion. Don't tell Megan Thee Stallion to go be Michelle Obama. It doesn't work like that. Don't tell Miley Cyrus to go be Michelle Obama. Don't tell Miley Cyrus to be Megan Thee Stallion. And don't tell the City Girls to be Britney Spears. I don't know. I just ran out of people. But yeah, people are who they are. You can't change them to fit your image. And that's what he was saying. You need to fit my image. I'm an up and coming star. You need to be star material. You need to be like Denzel Washington's wife. Why did he say that? Denzel Washington wife. That would be more comparable to him. He's not. I'm sorry, Jonathan Majors, you were doing great in your acting career and, you know, being a famous villain in a lot of movies, being a good actor in different shows and all this stuff. But you are not Barack Obama. I'm sorry. Compare where you are. You know, maybe you should have said Denzel Washington's wife, or maybe even Steve Harvey, one of his wives. Not one of his wives. Not one of his wives. Okay. Yeah, you could have said any one of those people, but Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, you're just not doing what they're doing, which is fine. And maybe you'll get there when you get older. But right now, you're more on the actor with a good actor's wife, not Martin Luther King. Sorry. Chantel says to Mary Malarkey, interracial marriages were legalized in the U.S. and the Supreme Court in Lubbock. Okay, so yeah, that is more of the 1970s. So I wasn't that bad. I was kind of on point. Okay. Cardoba82 says, in agreement to Chris Mullen, don't expect me to be like Michelle Obama if you're not willing to be like Barack Obama, or you're not, or you picked her. That's like picking somebody up from the strip club who's a stripper, and then all of us, and not saying it's impossible, but all of a sudden expecting her to become Michelle Obama overnight. Michelle Obama then went to law school, went to undergrad, and raised that man's kids and put him in the White House, then supported him in the White House. And you want to tell me that the, stripper from whatever street is going to be now Michelle Obama? We're going to change up her wardrobe. She's not going to be at the headlights, twerking at the red lights like was that Sexy Red or Gorilla? Whoever they are, right? It's one thing to have two personalities like me, but no, you can't. You just can't. I'm sure I'm sure Michelle Obama turns up too, but not in the way that Glorilla does, not in the way that Trina does, not in the way that Megan Thee Stallion does. And I'm sure Megan Thee Stallion can dress very, very elegantly, but probably not like Michelle Obama. She's not going to have her press done like Michelle Obama. She's going to have a bust down wig on. So you cannot compete where you don't compare, whether you're comparing two Black women that are highly successful in their own realms, or whether you're comparing different race people that are successful in their own realms. Spirit of the Tree says, yes, indeed. Yes. Chris Mullen says, exactly. Tanya D also agrees that Love and v. Virginia was 1967 and approved by the Supreme Court. Yeah. So more recently, right? 48 I would have been a little bit off, but yeah, about 50 years, a little over 50 years there. Mary Malarkey says, yeah, I was surprised it was 1942. That's why we can't be on Wikipedia, because they will convince you that they're right. It's okay. Tanya D says, if y'all are still here and haven't hit the like button, take a second to do so. Thank you for the reminder, Tanya D. Tanya D also says, I'm loving this conversation. It's touching a lot of little boundaries, right? I love this community because we can kind of just say things and people are not getting offended. So I love that about this community. So thank you all for being here and just kind of supporting the conversation and putting your 2 cents in, even if you don't feel like it applies to you or whatever it is. We can have grown-up, mature conversations about these things. Tanya D says, Michelle is not bringing her drinking buddies from the club at home, or Michelle is not bringing her drinking buddies from the club at home. Yeah, and so she went and met those people out on the street and then just went to the club with them. I am close to this girl's age, right? That lady's like 30. I'm 29. I'll let y'all know how old I am. I'm 29. And I would not meet up with random people on the street after I got in an argument with my husband or boyfriend if I wasn't married, and then go to the club with them. That's weird behavior to me. That's party girl behavior, and that's mad friendly behavior, and I'm not that friendly, so that could also be the issue. But yeah, that is very party girl behavior, and I might go out and I might turn up with my friends and turn up with my husband, but I'm not going to go turn up with random people after I just started a brawl in the back of an SUV over a text message. She had a lot going on that night. She should have just went home and rested, okay? But I definitely agree with Tanya D in the fact that they didn't prove the reasonable doubt. I do think that his behavior could have been consistent with assault, but I think Tanya D makes a really good point in the fact that they didn't really prove that the injuries came from the actual him picking her up and throwing her down or him running away from her. He kind of he gave her a little stiff arm move at one point. And they're not even proving that, or they're not even saying he slid the phone across her ear and that slit her ear. They did say that he grabbed her face and the phone was in one of his hands, but they didn't really run with that too much from the summaries and the live tweets that we received. So I don't know. I think I'm with Tanya D in that they didn't um prove the injury part. They did not prove the injury part. I think they proved the action part and the fact that what he was doing could be considered. And honestly, I don't even think that we're on the reckless side of things. I think we're more on the negligent side of things. That, yeah, he pushed her to get away from her and it could have hurt her, but he wasn't trying to hurt her, and nor was he really being reckless. I think we're more on the negligent, is that, okay, maybe he had a duty of care not to push her that hard and he breached that duty of care. But at the same time, I don't think that he's reckless, that he knew or should have known that he could have, or reckless is a reckless disregard for the possibility of injury. I guess it's in between negligence and recklessness. And with their toxicity of their relationship, and I think that's why the DA pointed it out, is that the relationship was very toxic, probably some psychological abuse, probably some social, emotional abuse. And they were in between that reckless and the negligent part of it. And the jury probably just pushed it more towards recklessness, because they're like, okay, he's guilty of something, but we don't have the right standard to make him guilty, but he's close enough. This is what I'm feeling like. He's close enough to the recklessness because of his size, is what I'm thinking happened, especially if he's more on the 202 side and she's on the 120 side, which her size is consistent with being 120 and his size is consistent, in my view, from what I can see on the TV, because I don't know the man and I haven't weighed him, consistent with being 200 pounds. That's an 80-pound difference. And then male strength versus female strength. So I see why they lean more towards the reckless disregard. Let's see here. Snow Maven says, yeah, that's dangerous behavior as far as the drinking and going out with random strangers. That's, they could have kidnapped her, seriously. Chris Mullen says, I mean, even if you ask her to be more like Kate Middleton. Okay, that's a good example. Kate Middleton, Prince William's wife, you are still asking her to be something she can never achieve, even if you are just referring to dress and behavior. Yeah, because I was like, he is not no Prince William. So why would you want her to behave like Kate Middleton? That makes no sense. So I agree with you there. Chris Mullen says, yes, it does sound like their relationship is toxic. I think that's the general consensus at this point. Their relationship was toxic. Tiny D agrees as well. All right, y'all. So we are at the ending of the stream and we have the final poll count and we got 42 votes. So shout out to y'all for all voting. And we have 36 likes. So if y'all have not hit the like button, please do so. It does help us in the algorithm, helps us get more friends, and we have wonderful conversations like this. We didn't have all the cool little banners running because we were missing our paralegal Kimmy, but that is okay. We did get a poll up, and the final consensus is no, he's innocent. 38% thinks he's innocent. I think Tiny D might have changed some opinions with the failing to reach the intentional. I think we were already kind of up on them, but now there's a discrepancy on the yes, he's guilty. It's down to 29%. And then I don't know, rich people problems to 33%. And then no, he's innocent at 38%. So general consensus is that he should not have been found guilty. And I'm leaning more towards he was probably somewhere in between that reckless to negligence standard or burden of proof. And they just went with the recklessness, probably because of the size difference. I don't know the jury's thinking. Maybe we'll get some comments coming out shortly hereafter. But we will see. And actually, I forgot to say that Tanya D has been a member for 18 months. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. We are almost on 2 years. We've been live streaming for a minute and Tanya D has been rocking with us. So we rocking with Tanya D and she has been amazing at being a moderator and amazing at being a member. I definitely appreciate it. All right, we are heading out for the night. I will see y'all on Thursday, and I hope everyone has a wonderful